Alrighty guys, well that wraps up another trading day. Well actually the first trading day of the week, it's Monday after all, and we had some good opportunities today, and I think my biggest problem today trading was just myself. I don't know if it's just a case of the Mondays, but I was trying some hotkeys today, and pre-market I was messing with them and they were working okay, although I was red pre-market, but into the market open, I was trying to buy some dips, and man, I was just too excited and clicking all sorts of weird stuff. I kind of fumbled over that a little bit, which is fine. We still ended the day green. There's some really, really good tickers to talk about today for sure. But since my trading was a little bit slow, and I think I only did 7 trades today, that's like the lowest number of trades I've probably done in a really long time, let's just say. And so since there's not too many trades to review, I also want to talk about a few possible swing trades. First of all, reviewing our AAL, American Airlines swing trade, and then talking about CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines, which might be a possible entry, and I'll let you guys know where I would be looking for a possible entry, and then obviously why I would be looking for Carnival Cruise Lines for a possible entry. Remember, this is a purely technical play. Always do your own due diligence. I will talk a little bit about some recent news, but again, I am more focused on technicals. My trades are fairly short. All right, guys, let's get into the charts now. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. If you're totally new here, consider subscribing. I would love to have you join the channel and the community on the live streams. It's really good fun. Every morning at 9:15 a.m. we go live to review the watch list and trade the market open. Would love to see you there. And yeah, let's go to the charts now. Boom. All right, guys, welcome back. So what are we looking at? XTNT. This one started pulling back right after we ended the stream, somewhere right around this area. We were talking about actually XTNT on the way up and on the way down. So this is clearly the back side of the move, and this is clearly the front side of the move. When you have a clear break of the 9-minute EMA with big volume, that's typically an identification of a trend reversal. So now, we're finding some support around 2. We actually just said that, right off of VWAP, we might have a little retest here in this area, and then a second pullback, and then maybe a bounce off of 2. So it looks like it happened pretty good. I was looking for maybe a bigger sell-off into the 197s, 193s, and then buying a quick little move here, but never ended up getting that fill, and now it might even break back above the 9-minute EMA, have a VWAP retest or so. I don't know. Could happen right now, but I'm done with trading for the day. Not the craziest day. I started red around $48 and then kind of dug myself out of the hole a little bit, made $100 with MCRB and MOXC. I'm happy it's a green day, but wow, MCRB, this should have been like a $300, $400 or $500 winner even. I really tripped over myself hard. I was trying out some hotkeys today, which were actually quite nice. I was practicing them pre-market. Let me just show you guys with the application settings, hotkeys, active trader, right here. So I have Alt A for buy the bid, Alt S for sell the bid, or sell on the ask, and then Alt D to cancel orders, and then Alt W to turn on and off auto send, which was working pretty nice. The problem was the fact that I kind of clicked twice on it, and yeah, really stumbled over myself. I don't know. I'll show you guys here, XTNT. Let me just pull up XTNT on my second chart just to see how this one performs. Maybe I'll think about doing a quick trade on it if we break too quickly. MOXC, let's actually pull this one up. I just did a trade on MOXC. I had a limit order here at 41, and I was waiting for this dip actually all day. You guys probably remember I was talking about looking for 141. Actually, right when the stream ended, I was talking about that again. So 2,000 shares we are long right now. Entry at 141. That was a bit of a flush with light volume. Would look for a bigger kind of move to the upside here, to be honest. 9-minute EMA, would be surprised if we tested that area pretty quickly at 45. And I think this could even be a reversal zone, although I'm not looking to hold this very long. I like to just kind of get out of these trades fairly quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of a kind of like an arc forming here with heavier resistance at 45, and then into that arc the candles get smaller and smaller. These would all be green candles in theory, and then break from the 45 into maybe 49 or so. I wouldn't look for much more than that, and I'd probably even start selling at 45. That's probably what I'd be looking for this move. That was a really nice dip here down at 40. I think we went to a 39. One of the bigger sell-offs this whole time. The reason I would be a little bit more aggressive for possibly holding this one is because MOXC, it's been selling off so much all day, and XTNT is now dipping as well into 198 territory. Now at 143, but MOXC, this is one of the lead gappers today. We might as well just quickly start off talking about this one. 5 million flow, Chinese internet and content company. You guys remember, I have a tough time with these Chinese companies. I don't know why, but they're just a little bit more fickly the way they trade, a little bit spotty. I've been having a hard time getting the proper executions on them. Signs letter of intent with BTAB Group. I'm not really sure how strong that catalyst is. MOXC also has a few of these kind of spike ups that don't really hold that well. Long term they're really rough. So MOXC kind of taking profits when you have them is not a bad idea. You can see we're trying to find some support in this area, bouncing a little bit here. Again, I would not be surprised if MOXC really kind of continues pulling off here. This bounce is much weaker than I was expecting, and because of that, I would probably even like to close this position. Wouldn't be surprised if I had one more dip now in this area here. Yeah, like I said, selling pressure much more aggressive than I would have wanted to see. So you could see 42 kind of getting chipped away here a little bit. Hold on. I'm gonna actually close this position. I can't do a recap video while I'm in a trade. It just doesn't work. Yeah, okay, bouncing back to 43. Oh well, I was done with trading. If I even got like 1 cent a share on this one, which we did, I'm happy with it because now we're closing the day $75 profit. Kind of like a ridiculous last trade, but if I saw that it spiked down and I missed it, I would have been a little bit upset about that and would have got some FOMO, and who knows what I would have done after that. So I'll just kind of close out here at 42. It is what it is. Obviously, that's probably way too soon of an exit. What I would be looking for is kind of that break back at the 9-minute EMA, but very low volume here. It looks like it wasn't really holding, and that was a big reason why I ended up kind of closing this one. Actually, what I would like to do maybe is MOXC. I'll put this one back on my second chart, and if I see this dip into the 39s, I would probably even consider buying this one again. Yeah, I mean, this is such a slow mover, guys. When the bounce is weak, be careful. It's usually a big sign that you don't want to stick around too long. That's just a lesson of the life. So yeah, there was MOXC. It looks like we're ending the day up a little bit better. Yeah, okay, now it already pulled back to, look at this. This thing's just absolutely pulling back to 38 now. This is what I was worried about. I didn't want to get stuck in something like this, 37. If it did one more dip here, I'd probably even consider trading it again. Really sweet stuff that we're seeing here on MOXC. I don't really see us having that big of a dip on this one, but I do think like 133, 134, 135 could be all like pretty sweet pivot zones, especially because we just broke 140 with low volume. That's always a good buy indicator. Okay, so let's kind of keep going here. MCRB, this was definitely the winner today. 69 million float US biotech with P3, which is phase 3. It's a little short note, that shorthand that I do, study results. So anytime you see some of these phase 3 tickers, they tend to do very well, even with a 69 million float, which is absolutely huge, because they just a lot of stocks don't ever get to biotechs don't ever get to phase 3. They usually kind of stop around phase 2. So this was up 300% pre-market in a total of 600% on the day. Now it's up 350%, so absolutely wild. This thing was getting halted left and right. This is really where I dropped the ball really hard. Oh man, my trades actually aren't showing up here, but NCRB, right into the open, we had some trades on this one. You can see here my entries were a little weird, and then I went crazy with the hotkeys. Actually right here, yeah, key alt
at 1849. I did not want this one, and this one I actually try to remove as well. So all of a sudden I was in this position with a massive position size that I didn't really want, and you know, I was right here in this candle, and then we were dipping down, and I was like at 7,000 shares, and I was like, I don't feel really comfortable with this share size in this area, because you know, this could easily keep pulling back to VWAP, and you know, being down 4% with a bigger position size made me a little bit uncomfortable. I should have sold just half the position or something, because then we ripped up 6%, and I basically sold everything on this candle. I walked away with a small profit on MCRB, but this could have been a huge profit if I just held into this one candle alone. And then basically, you know, MCRB, whoops, let's go here, pops up here, and this was really exciting when we had this pop up here. Got halted, we had a pullback to 220 or so, and then we ripped up here like 30 or no 60%. This was absolutely ridiculously, I forgot how big it was, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Crazy. Now these were a bunch of halts on the way, but it was just really, really nice. And I'm a little upset with myself that I didn't jump on this one as hard as I did. I mean, this was the clear lead gapper on the day. This was the most obvious setup. I mean, a halt pullback to the 9-minute EMA is pretty clean. So again, I was like, oh, why didn't I trade that one? And MOXC just broke 144. So I should have jumped on that 137. That was a pretty silly thing that I didn't do there. But yeah, that was a 5% bounce. So yeah, I mean, MCRB, really, really nice move, you know, under VWAP now, but kind of popping back above it, 5%. This one could be a fun one to trade in late morning or afternoon even. So, you know, keep a close eye on MCRB. Long-term wise on this one, you know, we had a bit of a huge gap fill here, and we know that $20 roughly is some big support. So or actually, I would probably argue more like $20.50, $21. So if we hold this area, it could be really interesting to trade, and that's probably what I would be looking for. But again, with a company that, you know, has these really wicked flushes to the downside and these gap downs, usually means there's warrants and offerings on a company like this. So I probably wouldn't be blindly holding this one. To be honest, I don't even think I would swing trade this one. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Up to you guys. Let's really quickly talk about the other ticker we traded, and then talk about my AEL position and possibly another swing trade, CCL. TRVN, nothing really too much to talk about here. It was one of the lead gappers on the day, 106 million float. Let me just click on this again. US biotech with FDA approval on the central nervous system disorders. I think they had a drug there on their FDA drug approval. The problem I had with this one, and you know, I probably should have traded the bounce off of 3 because that was a clean move, but this one had wicked flushes. If you just scroll back in history, this thing's always flushing like 20%, just constantly. So that alone made me not want to trade TRVN. I did 2 attempted dip trades on TRVN pre-market, I think somewhere in this area. First bounce was here, it was a small win. Second one was a bounce off of, I don't know, some like 75 $quarter zone, closed for a small loss here. So basically down TRVN, 48 bucks on the day, all pre-market. I knew I was not going to really want to trade TRVN, so it is what it is. Just kind of let this one slide by. So yeah, it's totally fine. So let's quickly go here and change to our challenge account, and we have our AAL position, maybe worth talking about. Let me just kind of move things around a little bit. So AAL, this one, you know, breaking $14 today. This is a big move. We're up about 500 bucks on this one. 550. So today was a really, really nice green day on this one, really adding to our growth on this account. Now, what I'm looking for on AAL, we've talked about it on the stream a little bit here. I'm not sure if you know, you were there or not, but what I like to see on this one is, I know that $18 is kind of big resistance. You can see we had a pullback to 18. We had some bounces here. We had a retest of 18 right here. And then we had a breakout of 18. We had a pullback, we had a retest, and we have the 180-day moving average at 180 at 18. So we know that 18 is going to be huge resistance, and I highly don't think we're going to break through it on the first attempt. We might break through 18, but I don't know. We might have one of these where we go to 22 and then pull back. So kind of like going to 18 and then pulling back. So what I would be looking for is a break of 16, see how the momentum holds, and then hopefully get to 18, and then I'll probably be taking profits somewhere between $16 and $18. I don't think I would hold till 18. Even if it goes to like $18.50 or $19, I won't have FOMO. I won't feel like I left money on the table because I got the meat of the move. And sometimes you're up 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, if you're day trading or swing trading or scalping, and then before you know it, there's a flush to the downside and you close for a loss. So I like to take profits when I have them. I don't care about any percentage that I miss after that, because that is a different move and that is not my strategy. It's that simple. That's why that's a good way to just constantly remind yourself on not like getting FOMO on these setups. So even if I took all profits at 16, that would be a phenomenal trade because I was buying down here at 11.5, and that's a 40% move plus. That's a huge move. I couldn't be more happy about that on a company like American Airlines during coronavirus. So I'm sure many people had the exact opposite kind of move on this one. Now, again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to even go to 16. It could flush now and we'd close for a loss. You just never know. I'm trying to keep an open mind. But again, $16 to $18 is where I would like to take some profits. Talking about, AAL, some other company that's very similar actually on the chart is CCL. Now, this is Carnival Caribbean Cruise Lines. I'm not like the biggest fan, I'm not gonna lie. I was saying this earlier, actually I would prefer to trade Royal Caribbean, but CCL has much more upside potential than the Royal. And what I really like about CCL is the fact that these companies are losing so much money, but they're still going up. I think Royal Caribbean came out, they're down like, here, RCL, let me just pull it up. They were down 97% revenue. That is just wickedly horrible. And their stock prices, having these really nice bounces. And that's because it's just like, how much lower can they go? Obviously they can go to zero, but at one point you got to think about it. Like, if this company's going to recover and it's already sold off so much, maybe we're at somewhat of a bottom. When you have earnings coming out, company falls 93%, revenue falls 93%, lower than expected, and the stock price goes up, it kind of shows you that we're at an all-time low, at least in the short term. Same with AAL. These guys, they had their earnings come out, and guess what? They actually went up, and their earnings were, again, horrible. Just really, really bad. You can see here, earnings negative 6.4 per share, estimates negative 7.8. So, they beat estimates, so that's good, but still at the same time, you guys kind of get the point. Like, you just wonder how much more these things can sell off. So again, I'm not saying that they're safe havens and they're not going to become bankrupt. Maybe they will, especially second wave of Corona. How long can they hold on for? But any company that goes down, you guys remember what happened to Hertz. This thing's bankrupt and it still went up 200%. Like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times. It was absolutely, I forgot their ticker actually, Hertz. HTZ maybe, Hertz, oh boy, yeah, HTZ. This was absolutely insane. Now they really kind of mellowed out a little bit here. I remember we were trading Hertz. Huge bounces off the lows, especially pre-market. Hertz was just this almost looks boring compared to what was going on with Hertz pre-market. Had a low here of 0.4. And then runs up, 2,000% almost. So it's like, this might be a bankrupt company, but at the same time, their stock price can absolutely rip. And you could see, it was really popular amongst day traders. So, again, Carnival Cruise Lines is one of those companies that offers some potential like that. So I think with Carnival Cruise Lines, what I would be looking for is probably, I like this breakout here. I would be looking for a retest, so an entry around 14.4. That's probably how I would trade it. And on my unlimited margin account, actually, we already have an order there around 14.63. Now, again, if we flush down here and we keep selling off, I'm going to have to close this for a loss. But I do find that the risk and reward on CCL is fairly favorable at the moment. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts on these, swing trades with AAL and CCL. I know they're a bit more risky than your typical trades that you guys would be looking for, but I do feel like the risk is manageable in these levels. unless they came out with a filing that was like, boom, bankruptcy, which could happen. You know, nothing's off the table, but that's what makes trading so fun. So guys, don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. If you're totally new here, consider subscribing. I would love to have you join the channel. Yeah, and that's everything for now. Leave comments below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on all these tickers. And let's wrap it up here. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning for the live stream. Till then, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.